This right here is the DC Defender Show on United Football Media. Coming here, I suppose we're going to spend a ton of time on this particular episode because it's kind of like a throw the tape away type game for the Defenders. Namely, and I'm not going to try to come across like I'm, I don't want to be like I'm not supportive or I'm trying to be overly negative, but it was called out several times on the broadcast that it just appeared that a lot of the some of the DC Defenders defense didn't look like they wanted to be there anymore at several parts of the game, and the PFF scores reflect that in this week's loss to the Houston Roughnecks. Both, it's funny. Other than the one where we got our butt whipped, both losses came the absolute last second with a guy getting tackled at the goal line. Both against the Brahmas and the Necks after, kind of embarrassing performances in one way or the other. This one was the defense being disinterested in tackling. The last one was all the penalties that were committed against the Brahmas. So tough one to swallow. The only person who really got a PFF score to write home about was DeAndre Baker. His PFF score was in the high 80s. He had an excellent game. Very happy with him. But otherwise, especially tackle grades, red as the devil's ass cheeks. So we ain't gonna go too much in on the defense. Y'all saw the game. You heard the broadcast. And, it's tough, again, too, like we talked about on Tell Me About It. This defense started off as the best defense in the league and has now deteriorated over the second half of the season to be the worst defense in the league. So tough stuff. Otherwise, offensive line looked real good, as they always do. Best pass blocking game line in the league. Did an excellent job. Our guy in the receiving core, Cornell Powell, with his best game by far as a pro, 85 PFF score, 8 catches on 10 targets, 2 touchdowns, 104 yards, looked excellent. And one of the main guys that we'll talk about, coming up in the preview, Mike Diliello, 200 yards, 59% completion, a touchdown, ran the ball well. There was some skittish stuff. There were some misses, but hopeful for the possible future of the program, because who knows what happens with Tiamu, who knows, another MVP season under his belt. There's a chance I think he sticks with an NFL team, or, who knows, as we always talk about, it just seems like somehow, some way, every good player ends up on the Battlehawks eventually. So who knows, maybe that's where it'll be next year, but excited about Diliello getting the start this week. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. Tay, burn the tape game, right? Primary thoughts on this week's efforts or non-efforts in some cases.
The offense didn't play bad to me. Deion Jackson had his usual contribution. He had 5 yards to carry. He scored a touchdown. He got in the end zone on the receiving court. Like, again, I love it. We got a bunch of different guys each and every week. Chris Rowland had a great game. Powell had a great game. I mean, hit 2 touchdowns. That's his biggest game of the season, which is just good, going into the playoffs. So I wasn't even upset about the offense. I don't know. To me, it just never really felt like we were taking that game serious. So, Roughnecks, like they've been like a feisty team all year, and they just, they're trying to just win games. Like, even though there's no like playoff implications, but they're still trying to win games, and it showed. Like they didn't want to just let the Defenders beat them, and it didn't happen. So. Defense has definitely been questionable. I don't know what happened. That was definitely the strong suit, but I don't know. It's completely flipped. I mean, some people would prefer better offense than a better defense. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, but I wish if both sides of the ball come together,
we could just be good team. That would be cool.
Nobody's that's the I don't know, man. Both sides need to come play, especially playoffs are right around the corner. Defense needs to figure it out because maybe they're saving it who knows? But it's just been bad. Everyone's scoring 20 plus. I mean, it's some of the worst teams. They just doing whatever. The Brahmas scored 20, 30. It's getting old. It's getting old. Adjustment has to be made. Something has to change. It's just too close to playoff time. Like this is the last week 10. I mean, it's the last week of the regular season. We got to break bad habits before it's too late. So definitely concerned about the defense though, because I honestly thought it was going to be a strong suit. It was very good first couple of weeks, but everything just flipped. I don't know what it was specifically, but something happened.
So, thoughts on, speaking of taking it seriously, and are they going to flip it and turn it on, and maybe they're saving it? So, I'm excited for Diliello to get a shot to be a full start for a full game, especially behind this offensive line. Michael Maietti and Liam Fornadell, in specific, had real good games this past week. I'm excited to see him go out there and do that. I'm excited to see the future of the program. For any of you who don't know, Mike Diliello played at Austin, PA, which is a huge, big time program on the next level down from FBS, from in FCS, big time program, perennial playoff team, and Diliello had high popping, huge numbers down there, rushing and passing, big time stuff, 50 total touchdowns, all of that. So was a monster on the FCS level. So excited to see what he can do. The thing is, this is the concern. I just want your thoughts on this, and people, comments, please give us your thoughts on it as well. At the beginning of the season, we saw a lot of ugly stuff out of Tiamu. We saw missing wide open receivers with perfect pass protection. We saw a lot that was not good. And then once he got into rhythm and things got rolling, he's been an MVP. So even for a half, even to see if he can put him in for a half, I don't know. I don't know about completely taking him out for a week. What are your thoughts on Diliello get the whole game, taking Tiamu out for the whole entire week? It looks like we got our answer on the question of, how much are they going to try and make a mockery of this playoff seeding situation. Looks like not much. I think there's a pretty good chance the Battlehawks will win this game and end up earning the home field advantage that they were handed anyways. So what are your thoughts on that, man? What are your thoughts on Diliello getting the whole game? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Bryce Perkins is, and we'll talk about that too, MVP. Bryce Perkins, I don't think is going to play this week either. So, what are your thoughts?
I'm not mad at it because we're not trying to show them our cards. So the fact that this is going to be the opponent, I'm fine with it. And I'm sure they might do something, something different too. Because yeah, honestly, I'm fine with that
because they run their quarterback a lot.
They do.
It's a good opportunity to get them hurt.
Yeah, they do. So I mean, I'm not mad because we're literally gonna play them back to back.
Might be a Brandon Silver's game.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's okay. This is a good game to see what you got, going forward, like into the next season. See what you have in your backup, and you're just giving the Battlehawks a different look. So they really don't have like recent film on you. They can't just go back to literally the game they just played and and perfect it. So I like this. I completely like this. The Battlehawks will have no idea what to expect each week. They'll have no idea what they expect this week, and I have no idea what they expect next week. It'll just be a completely different like offense in a way, different quarterbacks. It'll look a little different. So I'm fine with it just because that's the playoff opponent, and you don't want to just show them your whole playbook, because that could be bad. So, yeah.
What if because Brandon Silvers looked real good. What if he comes in and the air game is working? Wonder if they have some questions to ask themselves in that situation.
Yeah, you can't. It's too late in the year. It's too late. You got to go with what you know.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
All
too
right.
late.
All right.
Yeah.
So any other predictions this week? Thoughts on this game? We don't have any starter information quite yet. I'll keep looking. I don't think we have any starter information quite yet on what the Battlehawks are planning on doing. If it's going to be, it looks like Duggan's still going to go.
He needs
Looks
to
like
play.
everybody's still going to go. So predictions on this week, keys this week. I think we're, very similar to how our buddies over there on the PAWD podcast, Michigan Panthers podcast here on United Football League, United Football Media feel. Hey man, just win that one in a couple weeks. Like, do your best here this week. It's fine, but gonna need you to win that one in 2 weeks. That's what matters. So, any other thoughts on this week's game coming up with the Battlehawks? How's this gonna go?
Well, I think the Battlehawks probably do play Duggan. He needs to play. Honestly,
Yeah.
for them, it hasn't looked too hot. So
Last week it was pretty good, 12-17, but that was the first time.
yeah, just overall, it just hasn't been the Battlehawks standard quarterback, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So they're probably gonna go out with him. They're probably gonna go out, with their best lineup just for a little bit. But I think we can beat them this week just because we're just giving them a different look. And I don't know how serious they're gonna take it either. Yeah, but I think the defense, the defenders defense has to play their best game. I need to see something like some motivation for the playoffs, because I'm not gonna have any confidence in the playoffs if we're giving up 30, 20 every week, So I needed to, on defense, I need the starters in the whole game. I need to start this in the whole game. We need a confidence booster. I mean, everybody, they're scoring every quarter. They're scoring every time you touch the ball. There's no stops. I mean, like, have you held anyone to single digits?
I believe not, certainly not in these last 5 weeks.
I need to see that. Like, I need good teams do that. I need to see something like that. Like, I don't know. I think the defense needs to. I need the starters out there, but I mean, this is a toss-up game, because I mean, we really don't know. We don't know who's doing what, who's trying, because this is a rematch. Like, I'm not gonna say it doesn't mean anything, but like at this point, it's like beyond just football. Like, this is gonna come down to coaching, later on, because it's just like they're playing back to back. You as a coach, you just don't know what you want to show in the regular season to the playoffs. So I mean, it's more than just what's on the field for this. I mean, I don't think the Battlehawks are necessarily like, they could lose. They could definitely lose this week. But yeah, that's all I really got for this game.
Well, tell us down in the comments what your thoughts and feelings are on the approach that the DC Defenders are taking to this game. Getting Mike Diliello in there, we're going to be big time supporting. I hope he does awesome. Can't wait to watch him play. Like I said, maybe next year's future starter, maybe the future of the franchise rolling out there. And he looked, fun time last week. So excited to see him work with these receivers, with this awesome offensive line. Get your thoughts and feelings down there in the comments. Tell us how you think about how this team is handling this situation. We thank you guys for listening. Anything else you want us to cover rolling into these playoffs, just put it down in the comments. That's because this is for the people. This is by the people. DMV born and bred. This is the DC Defenders Show on United Football Media.